I have not been charged with riot or criminal trespass for simply reporting. This is a direct violation of the First Amendment. I mean, freedom of the press is also about the public's right to know. To have a meaningful democracy, people must be informed. And there's a reason why our profession, journalism, is the only one explicitly protected by the U.S. Constitution, because we're supposed to be the check and balance on power.
Did you ever, when you were down there on that day, did you ever think about noticing that there was a fence that people were crossing? Did you ever consider there might be consequences?
Well, I have to say the criminal trespass charge was dropped. The state's attorney decided he had no grounds for bringing that charge. And there are no grounds for bringing the riot charge. Now, there's one step before me being arraigned, and that is a judge signing off on this charge. And I'm very much hoping that the judge does not sign off on this charge. I think that the state's attorney, Ladd Erickson, is sending a message to reporters everywhere. Do not come to North Dakota. That's not good for North Dakota. It's not good for anywhere in this country. Journalism is essential to the functioning of a democratic society.
What do you hope, you kind of mentioned on this already, but what do you hope to be the outcome? What would be the best case scenario from today?
All these charges should be dropped. Reporters should be coming here in droves, covering an epic struggle that we're seeing. It's led by Native Americans, though it is not Native American alone. The Standing Rock Sioux are at the front of this struggle, but members of more than 200 nations have come to join them. I mean, this is historic. It's the largest unification of tribes we have seen in decades from Latin America, the United States, and Canada. And they are taking on the issue of global warming and climate change. They are taking on nothing less than the fate of the planet. The people of Bismarck, the people of Mandan, all decided they did not want a pipeline here. And so it ended up, the pipeline company is trying to build it around the Native American reservation. And they too are saying no. It is our job to come here and document all of this. It's our job to document movements, because movements make history.
There are many cameras around a lot of these things. You're not the only one carrying a camera, but it seems like you were perhaps singled out in this previous situation. You feel like you're purposely being picked on?
I have no idea why the state's attorney has is attempting to charge me with riot. I have no idea why the state's attorney charged me with trespassing. I don't, though, think it's personal. I think it's a message to journalists to stay away from this issue. It's precisely why journalists need to be here.
How far do journalists need to go? Like, this is a monumental thing happening right now. At what lengths? I mean, is there a moment where we need to shut off that camera?
How far do journalists have to go? They just have to come to North Dakota. But what we're seeing here, we're seeing in so many different places. I mean, with the Keystone XL, for example, that's only 6 miles longer than the Dakota Access Pipeline. And there was a tremendous amount of coverage of this. This is a similar struggle. And I think what's very important is to see those images that we broadcast, the horror, looking like 1963 Birmingham, dogs attacking protesters. That should say a lot to many people, as it has all over the world. And it's our responsibility to be there and to report it.
For those folks who are just here, living here, who might not be involved in anything, is there anything that people should be doing here? This is a global event going on, but it's happening here in North Dakota. Mm-hmm. What do the local people need to know? What do we need to keep in mind?
Well, I think the answer to that is to go to the reservation, to the camps, to talk to people there, why they feel so passionately about this. I mean, that's what I see the role of the media is. I see it as a huge kitchen table that stretches across the globe, that we all sit around and debate and discuss the most important issues of the day. I see the media as a way to break down caricatures and stereotypes. Because when you hear an Ojibwe grandmother or a Lakota child on television, you see someone speaking, you may not not even be native, but you say, oh, it sounds like my grandma, it sounds like my child. That's breaking down of stereotypes, is the beginning of understanding. You may not agree with what you hear. How often do we even agree with our family members? But that beginning of understanding is the beginning of peace. And I see the media as the greatest force for peace on earth. Let's not let it be used as a weapon.
That is all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else I missed? Anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't have my camera. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amy?
Oh yes, but I need to get my camera first.
Amy?
Yeah.
Can we ask one last question?
Davis, did you find it?
I don't even know who that is. Aaron? Oh.
Amy?
Yes.
Can we ask you one last question?
Yes.
In terms of the impact on press, on the First Amendment, what you being charged with rioting, can you express how you feel about being charged with riot for simply doing your job?
I mean, first I was charged with criminal trespass. Now I'm being charged with riot. I am simply reporting. That is our job. And it's an essential job. I see journalism as essential to the functioning of a democratic society. It is absolutely vital that we protect the First Amendment, not only for journalists, but for everyone. Because freedom of the press is about the public's right to know. And in order to have a meaningful democracy, we must be informed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Amy,
Thank
do you
you.
have anything that you want to say directly to the camps and the people that are staying there?
I think it's very important that you have your own media at the camps. It's very inspiring. And that you be heard. I have much more to say to the major media, to say, go into the camp, talk to people. Let there be this global conversation so we can understand each other.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Do I want to say anything in the sacred stone? What are we going to say?
Whatever.
Vinny Machoni, water is life. Scared to see what you're doing, but I got scared and I was like, oh my god, he has the camera. Good.
I got her. That's all you get.
Have everybody move over into the grass, little grass boulevard.
Hey, do you want to say anything to Sacred Stone Camp? Yeah. Say who you are.
So, I'm Leha Spoonhunter, Northern Rampo, here in Bismarck for the witness Amy Goodman and Myron Dewey turned themselves in for free speech, for using their constitutional right. And North Dakota is impeding their right to free speech. And we have to do what we can to support them in this effort. So thank you.
Thanks.
Leha Spoonhunter.
And where do you come from?
I come from the Wind River Indian Reservation in Wyoming.
Whatever we can on the credit card and taking some supplies out. Yeah.
What about like here, can I keep the sign?
Yes. Is that the one you like? You want a different Wow.
just found out about it last year. So we get to lay that out. Are you open for 1 minute? Okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, no problem. No worries. I hate being this annoying media person. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, how are you? You guys wanna...
Is this a fight? Is this fight about a pipeline or is it about something bigger?
This is way bigger than just the pipeline. The pipeline is a stand for us to say enough is enough. As Indigenous people, we've been targeted heavily since colonial times, but it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to come together as all people. As all people to say enough is enough. I mean, yeah, we've been targeted as Indigenous people, but outside of that, it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to exchange information and re-challenge, re-change how we think, just totally turn that completely around for us as a worldwide community.
So on that note, what do you see as the outcome of the Standing Rock struggle and all of this media that's come together to finally put a little bit of a spotlight on Native American issues that have been ignored for hundreds of years? What is the outcome that you're hoping for from Standing Rock?
This is the spark of Indigenous rising, and we've been rising for a little while, been doing a lot of work, but we're always the last ones because there were so few of us left. You know, I can remember in my lifetime there being less than 1 million Native people in this country. Now we're up to almost 3 million. That's just in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I look at the rest of the world, you know, across Indigenous America and Turtle Island and in Africa and New Zealand and everywhere, most of the population is under 30. So this is not only just Indigenous rising, this is youth rising. And that's really exciting. So what I see for Standing Rock is it being the catalyst for moving that shift forward.
Was the seventh generation prophecy something that played into your being drawn to be here? Did that play into a lot of people have been talking about that?
I feel that I've been pushed along the way everywhere, everything from where Sacred Stone, the original camp, was going to be, to just about everything that happens every single day. I had no idea how I was going to get gas to get here. Somebody filled my tank up. I had no idea how I was going to have money to eat off of. Somebody gave me money so I could eat. It just happens. It just happens.
And I've asked you this before, but I'm going to repeat it. If you had a moment with our administration, with President Obama, with the next head of our administration, who we think is probably going to be Hillary Clinton, what would you like to communicate to our government?
Well, first, Obama, you can say no and you can stop
I'm so
it.
sorry, someone called. Can you start again first?
First, Obama, say no, stop the pipeline, and stop continuing extractive energies against our people. To Hillary Clinton, you need to come out and make a stand. Say no to Dakota Access Pipeline. Quit this pussyfooting around and grow a pair.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add?
Everybody's welcome to come to Standing Rock. Come join us. We need you. We need bodies. We need people.
Thank you so much.
Joy, can you just, I missed that first question. Do you mind, LaFleur, can you ask that again, maybe?
What was the first question?
Something about, just tell me like, who you are and what your,
Can you give us a little bit of background for people that don't know? We've spent some time with you. Can you give us a little bit of background on who you are in this struggle, what your role has been?
Maybe answer her so that it's the same shot for him.
You can look at me.
So what, they wanted my name and who I was?
Yeah, if
or-
you could tell your name.
Oh,
and who you
Joy Braun. I'm with Indigenous Environmental Network. I'm a member of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, which borders Standing Rock. I'm the frontline community organizer. So my role is to find those people in the community who are strong advocates for their own community, develop those resources within that community, help that community or those people make a stand for what matters for them.
How long have you been camping at Standing Rock?
Since April 1st.
Can you say that in a full sentence?
I've been camping in Standing Rock since April 1st.
And how are you prepared? How far are you prepared to go to shut this pipeline down and make a statement for the people?
I'm still fighting Keystone, so with our South Dakota Public Utilities Commission, we've been taking them to court, and under that fight, I pledged death or prison, so I can't pledge death or prison until I win Keystone completely. But I am prepared for whatever's necessary.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thanks, Joy. I appreciate it.